Oh, no, no. Oh, that's awful. All right, welcome to another School Principal Reacts. If you don't know me, my name is Brandon, and I'm a high school principal from the U.S. state of Georgia, doing another episode of Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide today. Still enjoying this series. I will say I did the first episode of season 2 last week, and it was kind of crazy. I did sort of like the new style, but some of the character developments were just so crazy. It was a little hard to follow. I'm going to see if this one is a little bit more balanced. I kind of hope so. And that it returns to sort of the true to life school life kind of style that I'm used to. I didn't mind some of the other music changes and kind of the film changes. The shots that they did were a little different. I hope you enjoy watching this one or rewatching this one right along with me. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get into it.
Hey, homeroomies. Today we're trying something brand new at Polk. Electives Day. All day long.
Yeah, and I didn't mention before, I think this one is called Electives. He says it's Electives Day. I'm really curious to see what this is about.
You pick which one you like best.
Okay.
Won't that be fun?
So we all promised to take the same elective together, right?
Right.
Good. So we're taking
Which one?
cooking.
Life science.
All right, so I guess I'll see what Mr. Monroe was talking about, but basically I heard him say they're going to look at the different electives and then pick which one they want. This is an interesting topic because in middle school, you don't have a whole lot of choice. I have seen it done where students have some level of choice. They usually don't call them electives until high school because you don't truly elect those classes. You don't get to choose them per se. It's more like you have a bunch of different ones and then all the students will rotate through those. I have seen it where students have some influence, but a lot of times if they did it this way, everyone would sort of pick the same one or two electives, and you can't do that because, you can't have two classrooms that are really, really full and then a bunch of other ones that are empty. It just wouldn't work. So a lot of times in middle school, what happens is students will just go through all of them throughout the course of the year. And most schools that I've seen don't call them electives. They call them exploratories or connections. I've also seen specials, different terms, just meaning things other than or classes other than your reading, math, or language arts, math, science, and social studies. Anything else is going to be considered not an elective in middle school, but one of those other terms, exploratories, connections, specials, or something else. Let me know in the comments what they called that in your middle school.
And may I recommend my always fun and educational life science
Life
class,
science.
which for some reason this semester is greatly lacking in boys.
You mean lacking losers with babies?
Yeah, well, this semester it'll be better than ever. In fact, I'm calling it life science extreme.
What's so extreme about it?
Well, I'm working on it, but mark my words, it will be extreme.
He's just trying to appeal to them, and they do kind of perk up for a minute just because he adds the word extreme there. And I mentioned before, some of you have said that life science was sort of what he teaches. I see that more here where I am. It's called family and consumer science, or it reminds me of what was back in the day home ec, with the learning about kids. And then also they were stitching up a pillow one time, which I distinctly remember from a middle school home ec class. And I mentioned earlier about the electives. You do see the term electives used, but again, it's more for high school, because in high school you do kind of get to choose your classes, or at least part of your schedule. And so of course they call them electives because you elect that class.
I am definitely not taking life science. I never want to hear that doll cry again.
Oh, that's horrible.
You were supposed to return that last semester.
I don't want to get lonely. So, took it home for the holiday break.
Oh, you can't do
that's
that.
so sweet. This is a parental matter, so butt out. enjoy the last day with the baby because come 7th period, we're returning it because we are not taking life science. Right?
Yeah, and there are classes that use babies like that. I typically don't see it in middle school, but a few of you did comment when we started seeing this in Ned's in the first season that you guys did have this. I do see it more often in high school in early childhood education classes where students do learn about, okay, how would it be to care for a baby? How do babies act? How is it having a baby live with me 24/7? Cookie here has grown a bit attached to the baby. It's kind of a running joke, I guess, in the series. And I wonder if they're going to end up back in life science or is he going to have to return this thing?
Because we're taking wood shop.
Wood shop.
Come on.
I totally forgot. You know, Mr. Chopsaw hasn't had a lot of appearances since the first few episodes where Mose, at the beginning of season 1, is trying to decide what to take, and she doesn't want to be in their elective class. And so she ends up taking wood shop, but she ends up being really, really good at it. So that's why I guess she wants to take it again.
I love wood shop.
Yeah.
It'll crush Mr. Chops off if I don't take it. Look, last semester, I didn't get the straight A's my mom was looking for or the straight B's I was looking for. So I need an easy A. I'm thinking cooking. Cooking?
Cooking, huh?
I hate cooking. But it'll be so easy. Think about it. We'll get an A, and we'll get to eat it too.
Yeah.
No, you're totally right.
And by the way, there are such thing as culinary classes. You don't see them that often. In fact, I don't know if I've seen it at a middle school. I have seen it a lot at different high schools. I say a lot. It's not a common course, but at maybe a magnet school or other special schools, you may have culinary classes. I have seen it a few times, but not often.
So let's get to wood shop. You'll love it. Trust me.
This is my last day with the baby. I'm gonna enjoy every minute of it.
Huh?
So are we.
Oh, no. And I remember them taking the baby before and then like giving it back to him piece by piece. I don't know what they're going to do this time, though. Oh, no. That's awful. Thank you. That was awful. Did you see that? That's crazy. Thank you, Mr. Chopsaw.
Wood shop is a demanding yet rewarding elective. So anyone who came in here looking for an easy A, well, you can head out the door right now.
Oh.
Today we're making a planter. Let's get to work. Nice job. Hey, what do you guys do?
Oh. That would be a problem. And of course, that was an accident, but yeah, that'd be a pretty serious deal right there. Oh, that was close. Oh man. I said, "Oh boy, that was close." And then he just sawed the baby in half. That's terrible. Oh. I like the music. Oh, he's gluing it back together. Oh, no. No. Oh, that's awful. This show, I kind of don't know what to think. I want to see where this season goes when I do more of these videos. Not that it's completely lost its character, but it is just a little bit edgier. And I've seen shows do this before. Hopefully it doesn't get too bad, but there's nothing, I guess, that bad about it, but it's just a little bit edgier. Can you all tell? That's not good. I think it was at a planer. I think that's what they're using, which is used to like shave away the excess material and make it smooth. And so it kind of shaved away his clothes there on his back. Yeah. And if that happened in real life, that'd probably be Ned's last day, or at the very least in that class, and he would have a very different schedule. That would be a really serious deal there, but I'm sure they're going to go on like nothing happened. Let's see.
My gut and chop saw sanded back. Tell me I'm
Oh,
not
sander.
gonna get an A in woodshop.
Fine, let's try something else besides cooking.
And no life science.
Art class. Okay. Yep, and you do have visual art classes in middle school. Well, some schools have it and some schools don't, but yeah, that's pretty common. What? I stink at painting. And I do stink at painting myself. I was never that good at drawing or painting. And it's funny, that's what he decided to paint, is just I stink at painting. We'll see what they try next here. Cooking class. Okay, because she does not want him to do the cooking class for whatever reason. And again, I've never seen this in middle school. I've seen it at a few high schools, but not a ton. It's typically called culinary, some sort of culinary course, not just cooking class. And I have to say, especially for a small school, Polk Middle School has a lot of different electives or exploratories to choose from, way more diverse and interesting than I remember seeing. Choir, okay. Oh man. This okay. Oh man. And I've mentioned to you all before that I was a band director. Different states have different requirements as far as music teachers. Some states in the US have it where you have, I don't know if you guys know this, but to be a teacher, you have to have your degree, of course, but you also have to take in every state some sort of teacher certification exam, which is basically exams that you have to take, usually at least 2 of them per subject, to basically prove that you know the content. So if you teach English, you have to have the English exam and have your English certification based on that exam. Same thing for science, same thing for music. And in some states, they divide it by instrumental music or vocal music or elementary music. Other states, it's far more broad. In Georgia, that's the way it is. There's only one certificate for music. Now, what that means is when you go to take that exam, it's all types of music. You're taking a 2-part test on everything musical, on vocal music, on orchestral music, on piano. There's questions about music theory on there, and elementary music and instrumental music. Whereas I think South Carolina is the other way. It's just instrumental music or vocal music, and it's much more narrow. So I'm looking at this little choir class. This has got to be probably the worst thing I've ever seen. I don't know if you saw whatever this guy in the pink suit is doing with the weird hair beard combo. He's just like strutting around, waving his arms crazily. And they're throwing the baby around. This is just probably one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen in a portrayal of a music class, but let's keep going. And I'll stop just for a minute. It's so funny. In a lot of shows and movies, they do things when they want a band or a choir to sound really bad. They make them sing or play something that makes them sound that way, but is actually really hard to do. Like in the SpongeBob episode Band Geeks, they're playing the Semper Fidelis March, and they make them sound really out of tune, but it takes some skill just to play it the way they played it. And same thing here. It sounds like some sort of weird vocal rendition of Beethoven's Für Elise, if you're familiar with that one. They're singing it. They're pretty much singing it. Any normal middle school choir or newly formed choir would not be able to do that at all. So even though they're trying to make them sound really bad, they do sound bad. but no newly formed middle school choir class would be able to do that even badly. And then Coconut Head with this operatic note or whatever he's doing here. I can't wait to see what happens. He just runs away. The guy's so weird.
Bravo!
Oh man. Trying to hide the baby.
I'm not a mother, but I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to sit on your baby.
Well, it's safer there than out in the open where Loomer can find it.
Maybe.
Again, I'm pretty sure it isn't. Hey, Coconut Head, you were awesome in choir today.
Amazing.
His voice is deeper too. Have you noticed that? I have not heard him talk like that in the first season. His voice was way higher than that. So some of these kids have changed in real life since season 1.
I don't think I'm gonna take it. I'm getting teased and
He's
stuff.
pretty much the
But
same.
you sing awesome. Who would tease you?
Them.
Why do I even ask?
Hey, where's the baby? Yeah, that little guy's a good time. We've had this much fun since we made the substitute cry.
So that made the
why don't
substitute
you sign
cry.
up for Life Science Extreme? You can get your own baby.
What's the extreme part again?
I'm working on it. Stop pressuring me.
Can't we just try Life Science Extreme?
Let me think. No.
Didn't you guys do really well in that class last semester?
Yeah, we did get a B.
We would have gotten an A. But
Astronaut baby. Yeah, okay. So I know technically that is not in this episode, but I'm going to call that a potential firing there for Gordy. I do not remember that scene in any of the other episodes. This is some sort of flashback that didn't get put into the episode, but that's a potential firing, Gordy. I haven't actually seen Gordy make an appearance in this episode, though, aside from this little flashback.
It was Ned's idea.
Yeah, I gotta admit, playing with that baby was pretty fun. And Mr. Monroe's a great teacher. Anybody else would have flunked us.
are you saying what I think you're saying?
Yep, we're taking cooking as our elective. And guess who's teaching it this year?
No. Okay. Yeah, it's the lunch lady here reading a book that says how to teach electives. It looks like they just took a math book because I see a compass and a protractor on there and just put this black cover on it that says how to teach electives. I don't know, but you can't do that. You can't do that. So if you're teaching even an elective or an exploratory, you still have to have a minimum of a bachelor's degree and a teaching certificate in that field. So think about your music teachers, like I mentioned, your art teachers, your world language teachers, your physical education teachers. You can't just be a lunch lady, and nothing against lunch ladies, but just read a book and you can teach a class. You have to have a degree, a teaching certificate. You can't just go out there and kind of wing it like that.
It's
Ugh.
the first time she's teaching a class.
Yeah, you can't do that. Ugh.
Picture it in your mind. Tasty food, lunch lady's lack of teaching skills, and an easy A.
What is this? This is so weird. It's gonna blow up or something. Okay. Oh, that's pretty funny. But something tells me that is not how it would go in real life. I can't wait to see what happens here.
You know, lunch lady teaching a class does seem kind of cool. Maybe you're right.
I'm telling you, it's the perfect recipe for success.
I don't know about this. Yeah, that's about what I thought. That's the image that was in my head, not Ned's idea of it. Sounds pretty bad.
So, I was wrong.
You kids thought my cooking class was gonna be easy.
That's awful.
You thought you was gonna walk in here and get an easy A, didn't you?
No, that wasn't
like
cool.
that.
Didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, I got news for you. There's no such thing as an easy A. Doing something right takes time and effort.
True.
Now, if you like cooking, it'll be easier for you to learn it. But if cooking ain't your thing, well, babies, this class is not going to be a piece of cake.
Wow. Looks like we won't be
Pretty
taking
gross.
cooking.
And it looks like I have to give the baby back. I gotta give it back.
Then it gets sawed in
So
half.
say goodbye because this was yours and my last date with the baby.
Duct taped.
Bye, baby. Bye, baby.
Elective sign up. Yeah, I've never seen it like that. And if you did it like this, it would be even worse because people are going to base their decision not only on whether or not they like the class, but they're going to see who else signed up for that class. And what you're going to have is a couple of sheets that are overflowing with names and then several others that are empty. That's why most schools do not use this kind of system.
What are we taking?
And you know, it's funny in this series, there have been so many scenes where probably at least once every episode or two where they come into the next scene and they have remnants of some disgusting material on them from the previous scene. That's kind of funny. I feel sorry for these actors. Like half the time they have all this nasty stuff smeared all over them from this show.
Electives. They're a great class to take, but not always an easy class to choose.
Mhm.
So use these tips.
Okay.
If you're good at it, take it.
Yeah, assuming that we're in a world where you can do this, which again, most schools don't allow that in middle school. I guess if I thought about it for high school, this would make sense. If you're good at it, take it. Or I would say if you're interested in it, take it. Or especially if it sort of lines up with something that you're thinking of doing after high school, definitely take it. But yeah, I agree with this here.
Even if it means you can't hang with your friends.
Yeah. Like most.
Love it, but you're afraid people might make fun of you for it. Take it anyway.
Yep. I agree with this also. It says, don't let teasing stop you because someday the teasing will stop. Yes. I see teasing a lot in middle school, and these kids are in middle school. Once students hit high school, you do see it. I mean, it doesn't totally go away, but kids tend to mellow out a little bit, and some of these type behaviors tend to go away because students just are not interested in constantly teasing, and they're moving on to bigger and better things, looking forward to doing things after high school. You do see it, just not near as much and not near as intense.
Because someday soon, they'll be cheering for you.
Yeah,
And if you're like me, and you can't find an elective that you totally love or are great at, you can't go wrong with choosing an elective with a great...
with a great teacher. I totally agree. Half of students' ability to really enjoy a class is not even what the class is about. I mean, it is, but also who's teaching it, and are they a really engaging teacher? Do they make it fun, or do they not? And are they really harsh, or are they friendly, easy to get along with? All that stuff matters. I've seen students before that they go to school to go to a specific teacher's class and skip some of their other ones because they don't like it. And they just have a really great teacher in that one class. Even students that are a bit more high risk, they will come to a class if they like the teacher. So yeah, very true here.
Welcome to Life Science Extreme. And I would
Life
like to
Science
welcome our new
Extreme.
families and pass out their babies. I just
No. I'm like, surely he's not going to throw this thing, the teacher. Now I've seen the kids throw it plenty of times, but not the teacher. That's pretty funny.
Now, before we get started,
Oh, that's the extreme part. I got it. So that he says life science extreme. He throws the babies. I guess that's what makes it extreme, or what he's about to say next here.
are there any questions about Life Science Extreme?
What's the extreme part?
What's so extreme about
Oh, I'm sorry. That's just funny. And I'm thinking the same thing. What's so extreme? So they go outside, and you got all these babies strapped to rockets. Okay, I don't know what they're supposed to learn from this, but he did make it extreme, didn't he?
Okay, we're only gonna do this once.
What in the world?
Then it's back to normal life science, okay?
What in the world? No more babies. All right, well, that's the episode, and this little shot made me laugh more than just about anything else in this entire series. Just all of a sudden, you see these babies on the rockets. That's just so crazy. Really enjoyed this one. I was a little more pleased with this one above the new semester episode, which was the first episode of season 2. Didn't like that one as much. This one is a little bit more classic Ned style. It is a little different. It's still a little different, but stays true to kind of that classic Ned style. Tips for school, really realistic style. That's what I love about this series. So I'm happy to see that. I hope I see that continue. There were several characters that I have not seen yet, several of the other teachers, with the exception of Mr. Monroe. I didn't see Susie in this episode. I didn't see really any of the other teachers except for the music teacher and the lunch lady. They were kind of crazy. But did enjoy this episode. Again, they don't really usually have electives in this way in middle school, and students don't really get to pick, but you do have other courses. Some places call them exploratories, connections, or specials, but those do exist. It's just not quite this free with it. But really enjoyed this episode. Looking forward to getting into more of season 2. I hope you've enjoyed rewatching or watching these along with me. I've not seen any of these, so they're all going to be first-time reactions, again, from my perspective as a real school principal. But don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed, or consider channel membership also. I'm going to leave the video right here, and I'll see you on the next one on School Principal Reacts. Thanks for watching.